Donald Trump, who's the GOP frontrunner, wants to turn your Commerce Department into some sort of a tool to slap companies with individual tariffs to punish them for sending American jobs overseas. Do you see the American Commerce Department ever being able to be that kind of a tool?
The Department of Commerce needs to be the voice of business within the administration and needs to be the voice of business around the world. We need to be the chief commercial advocate on behalf of American business and the American worker. And that's the kind of focus we need. Not a negative focus, but a positive energy supporting American business.
Suddenly trade deals are not popular. I mean, when you look at some of the energy in the Bernie Sanders campaign and certainly in the Donald Trump campaign, a lot of people feel 30 years of trade agreements has been bad for the American worker. What do you make of that?
I think it's an oversimplification. There's no doubt that there's been impact on the American worker from globalization, automation, and what we need to do, though, is recognize the facts about what trade deals can do for the American worker.
So what can they do? Because you're not hearing that right now. All you're hearing is how they kill American jobs, they close factories, we need to go backward to the way it used to be.
Well, let's step back and talk about TPP. What TPP does is increase access for American companies in the fastest growing marketplace in the world. There are 500 million middle class in the Asia Pacific region today. That number is going to 3.2 billion just in the next 15 years. What TPP does is lower tariffs, 18,000 different products that we're selling in competition with other countries that have free trade agreements throughout the Asia Pacific that don't have tariffs. So it's making our products more competitive. It's also raising labor standards, raising environmental standards, which make our worker more competitive. And I think we need to acknowledge that there will be some impact on workers, but that's why the president's been so focused on apprenticeships, skilled workforce training, so that if there is dislocation, that a worker is getting a new opportunity. But if we're not in the fastest growing marketplaces in the world, if our companies are not present, then our workers are going to lose out.
What are you hearing around the rest of the world when the oxygen in the debate about American commerce is that we're losers?
I've had leaders from all different kinds of countries say, we want American companies here, we want American business here, we like your respect for rule of law, we like the fact that you invest in the communities where you do business. We want to see more American presence, more American products.
Raising the minimum wage to help sort of the service sector jobs that don't pay as much to try to level the playing field for the American worker. I know the administration has been pushing for a 10-10 minimum wage. California and New York now are going to 15. Some business people tell me 15 is too high.
Well, I think that, the administration has taken the position that we need a national minimum wage, which I tend to agree with. And the reason is what you don't want to do is create places where there's a minimum wage that's much higher, and then that might incent companies to move around to try and manage the wages. We need a rise in the minimum wage. We should do it nationally.